Thank you to, welcome to our 3-axle laser spirograph Capstone project 2012. And introduce you to my teammates here. I'm Harry Whiteside, the leader. We have Max Savaja, Rocky Chittiman, and Thomas Carr. Okay. We had basically 3 ideas for our projects. One of them was, the first one was the 3-axle spirograph. The second one was the ambient light system. The third one was the solar power mini car. But we all kind of got together and everybody agreed with the 3-axle spirograph. Why? We felt it was fresh and new. Budget-wise, it was under budget. Time-wise, we almost didn't make it. Same problem as other crews had. Like laser didn't show up. PLC didn't show up. And skills-wise, it really is going to implement our skills from what we have learned these 2 years. Okay, the process. First, we're going to start with the brainstorming and planning, the gather materials, and assembly, and test and final project. My colleague, Rocky Chittiman, will show you part of how it works.
All right, so I'm here to talk about how it works, part of it, and I'm going to be talking about the laser. So the laser, here you have is, it's inside the box, and you have the laser pointer. It's just basically your typical laser pointer, because, you know, the one that we wanted couldn't come in. So we just got one, you know, for what you can buy from Dollar General. You know, the ones that you can point at other people's eyes and use later. So we modify that so where we can use that and connect it to our VCC, our power out source, where we have it pointing into the center of the first mirror or motor. And it's controlled by our pulse width modulation, where if it's just pointing by the first mirror, it comes out while it's spinning, it's coming just a circular pattern. And that's just what it's doing. It's a circular pattern. But then when we angle it with the second motor we have, it comes out with distortion. It comes out with makes different designs. And then we have another one, a third one, where it will bounce off that one where we center it in the middle, and then it will come out with more different other designs. And that's our laser right there. And how to control, we have 2 controls. We have a manual control, where you switch it to a manual. That's where you have toggles. We have 3 toggles where that controls the fan speeds. And that's what the mirrors are on. They're on fans, like your basic computer fans. And that's where we glued or sticked our mirrors to, where it controls the spinning and how fast or how slow the mirrors will spin. And then you have an auto mode where you switch it to auto, it will just randomly, the fan will randomly, every 3 seconds it will switch to different speeds. And then that's where they'll just control and make different designs by itself there. And they're all controlled by our Arduino microcontroller. And our microcontroller is just basically a small computer, and it's integrated circuit, and it has a processor in it. And our other, we was going to use a PIC-18, a programmable integrated circuit, but it did not show it. And then my teammate Max will explain more into the microcontroller.
All right, so we mentioned that we control the speed of each fan through pulse width modulation. I know the other team explained pulse width modulation, but I'll explain that a little bit more. Basically, pulse width modulation it's what it says it is. It's modulating the width of the pulse. So let's say, for instance, you're riding a bicycle. You're not going to sit there and pedal the whole time, you know. So you might like pedal and then rest, and then pedal and then rest. So let's say you want to control your speed of your bicycle a little bit more accurately. You say, well, I'll start pedaling every 10 seconds, and every 10 seconds I'll pedal for 5 seconds, rest for 5 seconds. So that's what pulse width modulation is. You're pedaling at the same frequency every 10 seconds, but let's say you pedal for 2 seconds and rest for 8, you're at 10%. You pedal for 5, rest for 5, you're at 50%. That's basically how you control your speed. Obviously, if you pedal for a longer time, you'll go faster. And this is where we get into the concept of duty cycle. Duty cycle is basically the amount of time you're pedaling, or you're applying voltage to this fan. So let's say you're applying voltage every 1 second, and for half a second you're applying voltage, for the other half you're not applying. You get a medium speed. If you only apply voltage every second, but just for a microsecond, the motor will be off, and you can see here it changes the speed. If you apply voltage the whole time, it'll be max speed. And that's how we change the speed of the fans. So how do we achieve that? How do we achieve the width of the pulse? We use the microprocessor, and we used to. I actually programmed it myself. Here's some of the code, but it's like a bunch of gibberish, and it gives me even a headache, and I really. So instead of going through all that, I go through this flow chart. Basically, these first two is housekeeping and setting up things, timers. He mentioned that every 3 seconds each fan changes. All those values I have to program, and basically that's all that is, preparation for the actual running part of the program. So when the program's running, the first thing it's going to do is check if it's automatic or manual mode. And this is the switch right here.
It's a manual.
Right now it's a manual?
No.
I don't know.
It's in auto right now.
It's auto. You'll see it change every 3 seconds or so. But so basically, the first thing it does when you turn this thing on, it checks: am I in auto mode or am I in manual mode? Let's say I'm in auto mode. Okay, so it'll go down this side of I'll have a duty cycle randomly generated, and that's done through that, like I showed you earlier, that code, just a bunch of code, but basically the end result is a random value, and then it takes that value and applies it to the fan. And then it goes back to the middle and checks, am I auto or manual? I'm still in auto. So it'll keep going over and over. Every 3 seconds it'll change. And as soon as you flip that to manual mode, then it'll go to manual side. And then it'll reach the values from each of these knobs. Basically 3 toggles. They're variable resistors. Basically, you spin it one way, the resistance increases. You spin it the other way, resistance decreases. And it'll take that value, convert it to a duty cycle, and then apply that duty cycle to the fan. And that's basically how we control the speed of each fan with a microcontroller. And Thomas here will go over the process of what we did.
All right. The first thing we did, we had to gather up our materials. We put in, like everyone else, we put in an order. We didn't get them all, so we brought some fans in from home. We worked with what we could work with. We gathered our materials. That's everything we used to build that box right there. This was the core. This was the cost, but everything's to the costless, of course, the parts. First, but we didn't have a program. We couldn't program it, so we had to go ahead and use our breadboard in order to make sure that Max, his program that he wrote, worked. So we tested it out first on the breadboard. You got a picture of us with Max. I'm doing some welding. I'm in the back telling him what he's doing. Some more prototype and testing. We putting it together. That's what it looked like when we started. The inside of the box right there. That's me. And then the box. That's it right there. Some more testing. And that's the final product. Again, you come up and you can see the box, but this is what we got. We got the laser, and we got our box finished right there. That was everything after we put in our weeks of work. The inside of the box, if you took the bottom off, this is what it looks like. This is what we all did and put together inside of the box. That first one is the website. You can go there and you can get ideas of how to do one, make one yourself. I advise everybody, go ahead and go do it, have at it. It's fun, and that's the Digital Light. That's another website you can go to as far as putting this together.
Any questions?
You talked about not getting parts, and I'll talk to you about that later. I'm confused about that, but did you have any challenges within your group amongst yourselves, or were you always just?
No, because we've been together the past 2 years. So we know our weaknesses, we know our strength, we know who the brain is. We know who the mechanical side is, you know, great speaker, and Mr. Math right there. So we had no problems. We just popped it off really easy.
It came out awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, we showed on parts. Our laser was actually supposed to have been green. It'd have been a little more intense
Right.
if we had got the laser. But the laser was coming from London during the Olympics, so that just delayed everything. Same with that group, you know, rest of the groups. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened there, but
Okay.
it happens. Like we did, we improvised.
This is brief, may not be the right question for you, but do you guys follow a management type model? Because so often, so many projects don't get done. You know, you start at designing and by the end of the cycle, a lot of ideas get on the shelf. Is there a pattern y'all follow, or is just by chance? The prototype is the reason why so many parts are missing.
Right.
Am I making sense? I'm not.
Yes, you are. Well, I credit it to our teacher because he actually, not Mr. Patero, he actually pushed us. He gave us surprise presentations we didn't even know he was going to have. He would constantly stay on us with, you should get this done, improve this, always improve this, get your Gantt chart right, you know, improve on each other, find parts, you know, if you need tools, let us know, and so on and so forth.
Thank you. About the Gantt, be careful with your spelling.
Right.
It's 2 T's.
Gantt.
Yeah. Not even twice.
To your question, we got everything that we wanted done, we got done. It all fell in, we didn't have any problems amongst each other with it. It was, okay, we don't have this, what's next? And we kept moving, so everything came out the way it was supposed to. Different light for the, like a whole different laser, to be honest, a whole different laser, but it's doing exactly what we wanted it to do, so no, we didn't have any problem.
Thank you.
And one last question, Max, do you find it difficult to write the program first and then flowchart, or flowchart and then write the program?
I think it's best to flowchart, but I mean, I guess you could do it either way, because when I was writing the program, I didn't really know exactly what kind of structure it was gonna take, so I kind of wrote the program and then did a flowchart. I guess it just depends on how you do things and if you have a good idea of what you want, or if you just like, you're going in and you're like, I'm just gonna play around and see what I can get.
Yeah, I had a professor that said if you can program and then write the flowchart, you're brilliant. And of course, I started off in IT years and years ago, and I used to program and then flowchart. Thank you.
Actually, we wanted to add more stuff to it. I mean, if you think about it, it's a blueprint from, I know y'all been to clubs, the laser shows. You know, they're very popular in clubs and stuff. So, I mean,
That's true.
it's an opportunity to make some money with it.
Oh, yeah.
You can build them.
Absolutely.
You know, we was actually wanting to put music to it, you know, and a lot of other things, you know, we could do with it. But we just, time consuming, the time, 11 weeks, you know. That's why we originally wanted to leave it here for the next class, or, you know, if we're coming back, and just keep remodeling, or a display. It could be a display.
Is this one for sale, or?
I'm thinking.
Well, we gotta pay for our loan, yo.